Hello and welcome to today's post-market analysis video, and we will see Bank Nifty first today. So we saw today that there was a massive rally today in the open itself. So what was the rally like? Let's count this for today first. Let's see. See, the open was right within the CPR, okay, and the rally went right up to around 900 points. So that was a big rally, and the rally, it kind of got slower at 950. So right from 950 915 to 950, right up to here, we saw that it was a big rally. And after that we saw that Bank Nifty almost went into a consolidation phase. First we will see how the day opened. We opened with a strong bullish pin bar. I had tweeted in the morning after the day opened that this is a very bullish sign. Okay, whenever price opens like that, it is a very bullish sign. What is a bullish sign? The price opening exactly at the CPR. Now let's mark the CPR first. See, this is the CPR. Okay, and the price opening exactly at the CPR and then forming the first bullish pin bar is a very bullish sign. It shows that the day will usually tend to trade above that level throughout the session on that particular day, and I'm talking about intraday. Okay, and that is exactly what happened. You saw that price rallied 900 points today and it recovered lost points in yesterday's trading session. Now I could not make a analysis video for yesterday. That was because I was traveling yesterday, but we all saw the kind of fall that came in yesterday. Let's just quickly measure the kind of fall that we saw. See here, it was Bank Nifty had fallen almost 1700 points yesterday, and the gap, so a massive fall yesterday. Obviously it was news based, and it was all, the market had been all over the place, the jittery mode due to Russia-Ukraine situation. So today SGX Nifty had indicated a good opening for Nifty, and exactly that's what happened in Bank Nifty as well. Nifty and Bank Nifty both opened right about at CPR. Nifty opened a little above CPR, but Bank Nifty opened exactly at CPR. So whenever you see such kind of an opening, it shows that there are very strong buyers here at the bottom, and it also suggests that CPR is going to act as a very strong support throughout the entire day. Okay, why? Because CPR by itself is a very powerful support. Okay, we'll mark this area. Now CPR by itself is a very powerful support, and whenever you see that the day low also happens to be at the same area, you know that the entire day that area is going to provide very strong support to price, right? And in the tweet I had said in the morning that whenever price reacts like this after opening, it keeps going in one particular direction, you should wait for a pullback in the price and see if the price reverses back to the day's low. If price reverses back to the day's low, it is a support, or rather a demand zone. Yes, it is a support, but it's also a strong demand zone because price has rallied so much from there. And now here, if you see that at any instance, you see that you find a good green candle like this here, you can go long on this candle. Okay, so you can what you can do is you can place your entry on the high of this candle, and you can place your stop loss below that candle. But today, was it a good idea to go long on this particular candle? Now let's see the SL here. See the SL, you can see from a little below the candle. Okay, let's see what the range of the candle was. Let's forget what below the candle is. So around 350 points SL. Does it make sense to take a 350 point SL in Bank Nifty? No, it does not. It completely ruins your risk reward. So forget about that trade. Let the trade run away. Don't suffer from FOMO. Okay, it is very important to not suffer from FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out. I have said that in my past videos as well. Don't suffer from FOMO. FOMO is useless because the market is not going to run away. It will some or the other time come back to your trading territory. Okay, so stop suffering from FOMO. Let the market run away. Now what happened from here? it's called something like a flag pattern. See, from here to here price relentlessly rallied. Okay, now here we already had these areas marked, so you can see that how beautifully price reacts to its own levels. See, we had already marked this resistance, price went up straight here with this particular green candle. It had broken this support here, but then from here it took resistance, came down, it took support here. So initially see, this was a resistance here, okay, initially, and this green candle broke the resistance, and then price went up, took resistance, fell to the same area which now becomes support. So resistance becomes support once broken, okay, and then from here it bounced again, and again you saw that it took resistance around the same area where we had marked. Now this was the PDH, okay, the previous day low. It was very close to the PDH where it took resistance, it fell again, and it constantly kept going within the same range today. Okay, now let's see what this pattern looks like. Okay, so this is kind of a pole, and then you can see that within this triangle here we see that the price has completely consolidated for the entire day. Okay, now this is called a flagpole pattern or a flag pattern. Now this pattern usually forms before a big move, so there is a probability that if price happens to break out of this particular PDH, that is for tomorrow, okay, the line that you see, the dotted line here, this is the previous day high, that is today's high. So if price happens to break through this range, there is every probability that the next level that price will achieve is the gap here. It will go and fill the gap. So there is a probability that price has kind of consolidated to find a base, to make a base out here, okay, to have a boom tomorrow. But we will have to see. Again, you also see for tomorrow that the CPR is not very wide. Okay, the CPR is not very wide. We see that we could see a trending day tomorrow. So this is a very typical pattern that forms prior to a big move, and we already have the gap marked here. This is in Bank Nifty. So let's see what we can do with the gap here. We just have to extend this gap, and the PDH for today, that is coming from tomorrow, will still continue to be a massive supply zone. Okay, and these levels which were so well respected today, you can see how many times this level was respected. These levels we had marked right before the market opened. Okay, I'll just show you in terms of circles, not in terms of rectangles. So see, here it took resistance, here it took support, bounced, right? Then this Marubozu candle is a kind of candle that broke that resistance here, okay, and now this resistance should act as support. So this is exactly what it did in this area. It acted as support. Again price was pushed, but it stayed in the vicinity of the same line that we had marked. See how much price action you can see within that area. And in fact, within this entire day, now let me mark a rectangle here. See, within this entire day, look at the volumes here. Okay, we don't get to see volumes in indices, so but the kind of trading that has happened here, right, a heavy volume of trading has happened within that specific zone. So we can see that this is a good setup for a blast tomorrow. It could or could not be, I'm not sure about that, but I'm just giving you a possibility here. Given today's pattern, if you see such kind of a setup, it's a very good idea to plant your SL somewhere below this candle, so ideally below the central pivot, and then you can take a long trade here whenever you see that the day's low support as well as a wide CPR support is exactly at the same zone. But today, as I said, the SL was very big, so it made no sense going behind this trade. Alright, now let's see, we will delete this area for tomorrow, no need. Let's delete this area also, and the previous day low is going to act as a good support, so we can go ahead and mark an area here. If you want, you can also mark a box around that area. So see, from here to the S1, okay, you can mark a box like that. because that is covering the wick for the first 5-minute candle, and you might see that if you see price coming down left from here, it might take support in this zone and bounce from here. So for tomorrow's trading session, that will be an important zone to mark. We do see this area where price kind of could not break the support here exactly at this particular area here, but we don't need to mark that area because again it is coinciding with the central pivot range for tomorrow, so it's okay if you don't mark it. And PDH we already have, we can mark it. The PDH we already have a resistance on top of it, so don't mark too many levels. But if you're comfortable with it, then if you feel comfortable trading for tomorrow, or rather I'm saying tomorrow but it's for Monday of course, then you can mark a zone like this here also. Okay, because price could not cross that level, and it kind of did not fall too much, but it is a resistance, so you could mark a box there. And rest of the levels will all stay the same. We can see that we have a virgin CPR coming, and we also see that we have the gap and the supply zone here. Okay, all these detailed levels I will mark on Twitter, and please update yourself with those levels. Okay, so I think that should be it for Bank Nifty. Let's turn over to Nifty. See, let me explain these levels to you. This is R1. Okay, this is R1. So what can you see here? What can you deduce from this kind of price action? A very strong bullish pin bar again. This is a very strong bullish sign, and especially when Nifty and Bank Nifty make the same kind of pattern, you know that it's a very strong day, and price will most often not return to the low of this first bullish candle. Okay, and this candle was above the CPR, right? Let me just mark the CPR for you also. So if you can see, then let's just mark the CPR. See, this blue is the CPR, this blue box is the CPR. Okay, and now we can see that price opened just above the CPR, and after opening here we see that price rallied up right up to this point. Okay, within which it took resistance exactly at this area where we had marked. This was the supply zone. Okay, this area, you can see that it went up, it fell from there, and again from this area it shot up. Now let me just delete all this. Let's see, you can see this price action clearly now. Let me just zoom in here. Okay, and now you can see that this particular candle, which was the 10:35 AM candle, has broken out of the previous day high. So the previous day high range is broken here, which was a supply zone, right? So previous day high, let's just go back historically and check. See, this was the previous day high, and we had marked this particular area off. Okay, so this area was already marked, and this area was already taken into consideration, where we can see price action here. And from yesterday we could see that today price already opened, though it opened within the previous day's range, but SGX Nifty, as I said, was indicating a green opening. But obviously because yesterday was a big fall, it was evident that it was not going to gap up. But in spite of SGX Nifty showing 250 point gap up, that did not mean that we would see a gap up opening in Nifty today because of the fall yesterday. But we can see that that fall is completely taken out today, and here you can see that price has bounced and not just reached the PDH from the CPR, it has also broken the PDH, but it was a false breakout. And usually you can see that gap will act as a resistance when price comes from the bottom, because you have a lot of sellers sitting in that area. We can see here that price took resistance in this area. It basically made this area a resistance zone. So for tomorrow we will mark this resistance, and it fell sharply from there. Okay, and then again it kind of made a base around this area. See, every time it came to that area, you can see that price has given a reversal pattern. Every time it has given a reversal pattern. Check out price action here. See, within this you can see that the red candle has been taken out by the green candle. Again a big red candle is taken out by the green candle. Okay, and so you see that that area is acting as a strong support. So you can actually deduce that from this area onward, price is actually taking a very strong support at that area. And for tomorrow's trading session, you can see that price is kind of at the CPR level, at that level itself. So let's see, this area is exactly at the CPR level, see, and the support lies at the same area. So you don't need to mark it for tomorrow. See, it's exactly the same area, so don't bother marking that area and save yourself that trouble. Now what we will do here is we will just delete all these. We will delete the supply zone here. We will obviously mark the supply zone. And now this, see, whenever I mark a black box, okay, whenever you see black boxes in the images, understand that they are gaps, okay, that I've marked, and I will also name them gaps. So you can now mark the gap to the PDH. Now you can shift this level up here, okay, and within that you can actually mark a box if you want, but those levels are very close by and very clear, so you don't need to mark a box there. I'm talking about this blue line and the black line, okay, and you don't need to bring this line any further down than this. Keep it here. That is the level of the 16734.60. So that might be a resistance for tomorrow, and we will just extend this gap here, and we will just extend here. Okay, we have a strong demand zone here, so let's just mark this area out. We have a strong demand zone. The day low is a strong demand zone, and we have the S1 pivot also. Okay, so if you want, just as we did in Bank Nifty, you can mark out this area, the S1 pivot, to the PDL here as a demand zone if you're comfortable and you understand price better that way. Okay, and as I said, we don't need to mark this area below which price could not fall here, because CPR is right there. So don't trouble yourself marking too many levels there. And not many surprises in today's price action. I believe price was pretty calm today. It was kind of calm after the storm. So, but I personally believe that there might be a big move coming tomorrow, especially to fill that gap. Markets don't like gaps, and usually gaps will be filled, but it all depends on what kind of news we receive overnight. Okay, one important area we need to mark here is the Virgin CPR, and we need to mark that in Bank Nifty also. I just remembered that we missed marking that level in Bank Nifty, so I will mark those levels in Bank Nifty also, that Virgin CPR, and I'll post the images on Twitter. And then we have this small gap down below here also, which is kind of insignificant, but the way to trade these gaps is, see what happens here is, I will just explain this the psychology here. Okay, what happens here is, see, let's go back to a previous day and let's check out here. Now who all are sitting here? You know that a lot of sellers are sitting here. Okay, so what we can do here is we can write sellers in big here. Okay, and these are sellers sitting here, so they are big massive sellers sitting here. Sellers are sitting from here to here within the blue box. Okay, now what happens is, whenever price reaches the top here, if price opens here within this zone and price just reaches that area after opening here, and whenever price happens to make a green candle here, okay, and whenever it is a strong green candle like a Marubozu or a candle like this, okay, so any of these two candles, you know that a lot of sellers are sitting there, so the sellers will panic whenever price happens to break that supply zone, and in that panic they will start placing buy orders to cover their short positions, and whenever their short positions are covered by them, there will be a short covering rally, and you will see a massive jump in price from here. Okay, and I'm not saying that price will go and reach that area tomorrow, but a specific zone here which has formed in Nifty as well as in Bank Nifty, in which price has consolidated, and a much better pattern is seen in Bank Nifty than in Nifty, and this could be a setup, as I said a while back, for the upcoming big move. So just be ready for that. Whenever price kind of fills the gap, you should be ready with your action plan. So there is a chance here that price may, I'm just saying it may, gap up tomorrow. Okay, if it gaps up above the previous day high here, you might be able to see price rallying up to the gap here to fill the gap here, and then see if there is a strong candle being formed here. Okay, now price will have to cover from today's high to tomorrow. It will have to cover about 280 points for the gap to be filled. So let's not be too optimistic here, but that is how the setup is at this point. It might consolidate tomorrow as well. I'm not saying it might not, it might, or it might gap down also. But just to be sure that you are ready for that kind of a move, I'm just giving you an advice prior to the day tomorrow. But definitely do observe your own price action, do your own price action analysis tomorrow, and wait for the price to come to the right level. Don't jump into the trade just because you feel that price has gapped up from the day high, and now you will assume that price will now fill the gap and it will explode out of the gap above R3. No, it is not a given like that. But given the fact that we have a combination of a fairly narrow CPR tomorrow, see, you can see here that there is a fairly narrow CPR, right? And also the consolidation as of today, I feel that there is a setup for tomorrow. Okay, rest we will see for tomorrow. So I think that should be all for as far as the price action analysis for today goes. I hope you're liking these videos. If you have, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. And please guys, I request you to share my videos as much as you can so I can reach out better to more audience, so I can help out more and more new upcoming and budding traders like you all. And it's really awesome that you have joined and connected with me so well. Also please connect on Twitter so that you will keep getting newer and newer updates. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.